Hey, welcome back to the Big Sister Podcast, coming from a little sister. In this 6-episode series, we're going to dive into how to take care of your body and of your mind as a girl in your late teens and early 20s, when advice from social media as well as just the world right now can be really overwhelming. So today we have back again a special guest, Bella.
Hi.
So she's here to discuss finding your fun. So let's start off with the first kind of mini topic in that, learning to have fun alone. Because I think finding your fun and learning that, like, it doesn't always have to include others can be really hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I had a hard time, like, realizing this before. Like, felt like I had this one friend in middle school. I felt like I always had to be with her to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't have fun with your family. Like, your parents are boring. Like,
Yeah.
you have to do what the cool kids are doing. But honestly, when I learned to have more fun by myself, it was honestly more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think, like, that's something that I really struggled with, of when I'd be by myself, it'd be, oh, because I don't have friends, or, oh, because no one wanted to do this with me. When it's kind of learning that, like, sometimes it's nice to have that time to just do something by yourself. And I'm not talking about just, like, even just, like, sitting at your house and doing something alone, but, like, go out and get a coffee by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, go get something to eat, go shopping by yourself. It can be really fun.
I do that all the time. I love it.
Be careful with the shopping. I struggle with that. If I go by myself, I overspend.
Trust me, I know. If I go with people, I overspend. It's so bad.
So let's start with the first TikTok from Jada Lawson. And she talks about the importance of learning how to be comfortable with being alone.
You have to understand something. Sometimes being alone does not necessarily mean being lonely. And you have to learn how to be by yourself. And sometimes God will leave you by yourself until you learn how to be by yourself. Because see, if you ain't ready to be by yourself, then people will really make a fool out of you. Because if you don't know how to be alone, people will be able to run any kind of game on you they want. Because they can threaten you by walking out the door.
That last part?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I feel like that was, like, a really good, the voiceover was really good. I like the idea I love the idea in the TikTok of, like, going to the arcade by yourself. But yeah, like you said, the last part.
Yeah, the last part ate it up.
Yeah, because, and
hey, why did I say
just
that?
For if anyone couldn't, like, if anyone didn't, like, hear it or anything, well, it said that the importance of learning how to have fun by yourself, because people will threaten you by walking out the door.
Yeah,
basically.
Go ahead.
I think that's huge. For me, that's something that I really had to learn, because I have a lot of issues of getting, like, very attached. Like, I feel like I'm better about it now.
Bro, same.
But getting really attached to people and understanding that, yes, I can, like, have a really good friendship with this person, and they can be, or this person can be really important in my life, but understanding that I'm fine without them. One of my biggest things that I've told my friends, just dealing with people leaving in your life and not being there anymore, is, how many years have you lived? So, like, how many years have you lived before you met this person, before they were in your life?
Yep.
And you were fine. You were fine then. You had a life before them.
Yep.
And you're fine after without them. And, like, I think that's such a big part, is understanding that. And I think for me, I learned that a lot. Like, I got a lot better at that when I kind of dove into my faith more, of understanding that I can have myself there all the time, but even if I have no person there for me, I always have God there for me.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge thing that can kind of sometimes even be hard to wrap your mind around still. And when you have those moments of being by yourself, maybe for a whole day or something like that, and understanding that, like, that's not world ending at all. Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, if you get attached on one person and that's all you talk about and then become your whole world, and then something blows up and, like, you stop talking to them or they go away and stuff like that, like, I promise you it's not the end of the world. You're going to keep breathing and you're going to keep going day by day. Like, yeah, it's going to suck to process your emotions.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a while. Like, but you're going to either see them again if they're, still with you, or you're going to find a way to move on.
I feel like that's too, like, a big part of, like, why it's important to learn to, like, be content by yourself.
Yeah. I know. Too. I mean, like, I've seen people who can't be by themselves, and I'm just like, I mean, me personally, I haven't had a serious relationship ever, so I may not understand to a certain extent.
But I feel like that's such a big issue, like, I feel like that's just, like, such a big issue nowadays. I'm personally, like, right now in my first serious relationship, but I've had friends who have been in serious relationships, and so I've been around it my whole life.
Yeah.
And I think that that's, like, such a big thing to learn, is because I've seen so many people that I might be closer with and not closer with be with someone, have this serious relationship. They do nothing but hang out with this person and be around this person all the time, which I understand that sometimes it can be hard of, like, maybe you don't have as many friends and your partner is your best friend or that type of thing. And I think that's completely fine. But I think it's still understanding to take your time to do your own things.
Yeah. And I mean, in a certain way, you have to be friends with yourself.
Yeah. And I think, like, people nowadays too, it's such a hard thing if they jump from, like, you get out of a serious relationship and right after you're going to get right back into one. And it's like, take a second, and even if you don't want to necessarily address those emotions right then, but I think it's so important to take a second and recognize how to better yourself. And I think even when you're in a relationship or in a friendship, being able to better yourself while still being in those relationships and friendships is so important.
Yeah. Even, like, taking that time, like, an hour to go shopping by yourself.
Yeah.
Just coming back to who you are. And, again, finding that friend in yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's life. Things are going to happen, and you're always going to have somebody who's going to leave.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not in a bad way, or you just naturally separate.
Yeah.
But it's just a natural thing in life.
Not everyone's always going to be around. Yeah. And I think that's why it's so important, too, to learn that with friends and partners, of spending that time together and having your things you do together, but having your own separate hobbies.
Yeah. Like,
I
have a friend here, and her boyfriend is here too, but, they don't spend every single night together.
Yeah.
Like, they go to lunch together, but then they can separate and do their own things.
And being able, while you're doing that, being able to separate yourself of not constantly, it's one thing to sit there and say, oh yeah, like, I haven't hung out with so-and-so all day. So you might have only hung out with them for an hour out of the day, but what were you doing the rest of that time that you weren't with them? Texting them, on the phone with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important to understand, of also being in the present moment, of putting, and we talked about this in, I think, the first episode, of putting your phone down and being present in the moment.
Yes.
And, like, not floating through life.
Yes. And I think a big thing too, maybe it's not just, like, being there for yourself, but also, or not like that, but, like, respecting yourself and being happy by yourself, but also, like, if you're the kind of person that just always, I mean, no hate, just always texting your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, always talking about them, and, like, your friends have told you, like, you're aware, but, like, you still do it and make it your world. Like, personally, that frustrated me.
Yeah.
Like, one of my best friends in high school, she would be on the phone with her boyfriend as we were at a sleepover.
Yeah, and that type of thing. It's like, be present with your
Yeah, like,
friends.
she would
It's
leave.
fine if you're gonna text them, if you're gonna like just like let your partner know, hey, I'm doing this, or like, hey, I'm like it's fine to keep updated, but you don't need to consistently be
Yeah.
the entire time. That's just not
Yeah.
necessary.
Because, I mean, we've all been in that situation. Like, how would you feel if somebody were to do that to you?
And I think a big thing too is that and I think it's hard to kind of understand this sometimes as a younger girl, is that if your partner isn't respecting the fact that you have your own things to do, you have your own hobbies, and like you have your own stuff going on, then they need to kind of maybe grow up a little bit.
No, completely.
Because I know for me personally, I can't be on my phone at all at work, and I'll work 5 to 7 hour days.
That's gonna be me over the summer.
And that's where like my boyfriend's great about understanding that. He's like, do your thing, have fun. And he's not sitting there blowing up my phone. Why aren't you answering me? This and that. Like, it's fine. And I get sometimes if you need someone and like, it'd be different. I think if you aren't letting them know of something, like if I just like stopped answering him for
That
like
would be
5 to 7
confusing.
hours, but I'm being like, hey, I have work, and he's still not. Whereas if someone's not understanding that,
That's just not
you just need to
respecting your
have
boundaries.
a conversation of, hey,
And
this
even-
is a thing.
Yeah. And a big thing with that too is like, I've noticed that a lot of partners still don't respect it even after a conversation. And then you're having the same conversation over and over again, but nothing changes, nothing gets done. Oh, and they say, oh, I'm going to change. It's been a month. No effort has been put in. Like, it's clearly not going to happen. And you can be very blinded by it.
Yeah.
And it's just when your friends say these things to you, like, you really have to
I think it goes
hear it.
And I think that goes along with the self-respect of sometimes it's hard. And we're going to talk about that in the next episode a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a big thing though.
Yeah. Even like being truthful to yourself, even if you're just hearing what your friends say,
Yeah.
you know, oh, this is all you talk about now, just hearing it and trusting yourself to make that change.
Yeah.
Or not even change it yet, but just be aware.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into the advice from Instagram. In Santos' post is about how happy they are that they learned to love doing things alone. Okay. Yeah, I think this ties into what we just talked about. I think we really covered this mostly with the TikTok, but bottom line is it is happy to, and like it's happy. It's important, and it can be really exciting, and it's a really good thing to learn how to love doing things by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you have, what's the life expectancy? 80 years?
Yeah, I think so. I don't
You
really know.
have, 60 years of life to go, depending
Yeah.
on your age? Again, people are going to come and go. It is, literally scientifically proven.
Mhm. Learn to be okay with being alone.
Yes.
Basically.
There's nothing wrong with being alone. I've seen that it's become such, a bad thing.
Yeah, and it's really not.
It's not a bad
It's not
thing.
social media's turned being alone to a negative thing sometimes, I think.
Yes.
And it doesn't need to be that. It can be positive. It can be negative. There's, you know what I mean? It's kind of that in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not so black and white.
Yeah. Even if you are in a relationship, just taking that time for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take time with your partner for yourself, but, I mean, just take a bath. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Go buy something for yourself.
Yeah.
Eat a whole freaking bag of candy. Just, take that time, because nobody else is going to take it for you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into the second, topic in this overall arching topic. How to have fun without feeling guilty. So first we have a TikTok from creator Megan Roop, and she talks about how you can have fun doing a hobby even if it might not seem productive.
Looks like we're making up for lost time. Need you to spell it out for me.
Okay, so personally, I included this in here because this is something that I really resonate with, of something that I really struggle with, is it always has to be productive. Even when it comes down to, like, I have some coloring books and stuff. I won't color anymore because it's like, well, what am I going to do with this once I've colored it? Like, I don't need it anymore. Okay, well, maybe it's just enjoyable to sit there and color something. Maybe it's calming and relaxing. It doesn't have to be this perfect thing that hangs up on my wall.
Yeah. Like, I would read so much in high school. And especially over COVID. That's when I got big into reading. And then I went back to school, I got busy, and I stopped doing it. And I turned to Instagram before I picked up a book. And then all that self-doubt would show up, all that, just putting myself down, and, all that came up. And I didn't put down my phone and pick up a book.
Yeah. And it's like you learn to, because you're learning, like, you're thinking, like, okay, scrolling through Instagram, I'm at least keeping up with people. Or maybe I might learn one or two things. Like, we've created a learned trait of, like, social media is more productive than other things. I think especially if you have anything to do with, I'm a comm major, so, like, with that, when I'm scrolling through social media, it's like, yeah, this is productive because I might be learning, like, what I'm going to use for this post and that type of thing. Whereas it's going to be more, if something's not productive for, like, business-wise, school-wise, it's probably going to be productive for your mind and for your body. I think, and a big mindset shift that I struggle with is having that, understanding that it can be productive in a different way.
Very much. Because even on, like recently, Sundays have been, like, rough for me. Like, I'm tired from Saturday night. I don't do anything. I'm literally in my room. But, like, I don't sleep great. So, like, I'm tired. It's hard to get up and go to church. Not because I don't want to go. Partly because it's 30 minutes away. But, like, just keeping up with it.
Yeah.
And just, I'm re-entering my faith. But, like, going there just for my spirit. To be reminded that God is there. And, it doesn't have to necessarily be productive, but it's just there for your spirit and for your mind. Even for your body, just getting up and going. Getting up and walking.
Yeah, I found too, specifically with church, because sometimes I might work on a Sunday, or last year I worked every Sunday. So I'll watch the sermons. And I think a part of that, it's sometimes hard, especially with watching it, because I'm like, I have schoolwork to do on my laptop. Like, I don't need to be sitting here watching this. But it like you're saying, it is productive and it is helpful to sit there, and it's productive for my faith to sit there and watch it, and maybe even take the time to read your Bible. And read your Bible and write down verses that stick out to you. And that type of thing. And that's important to take that time to connect with your faith and everything.
And going back to the affirmations from last episode, even just writing down a Bible verse and putting it on a sticky note and sticking it somewhere.
And that's an affirmation in itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, that's also good for your mental health. And I forgot what I was going to say. Literally did the same thing you did.
But yeah, it's productive in its own way.
And, like, even when something isn't productive, it's still fine if you do it. It's just, I remember now. It's just a matter of priority.
Yeah.
Just keeping that in mind and making sure you, like, if it's schoolwork, do that first.
Yeah, get the schoolwork done, be productive, and then it is okay to sit there and scroll on your phone. Like, you don't need to feel guilty for that type of thing. And I think that moves us into our next advice from Instagram. Danielle Ronaldo MHC has a post that lists how to not feel guilty on your day off. Okay, so we're just going to go through the list. The first one is rest is part of the job. You can't give 100% if your tank's empty. Recovery fuels performance. So, yeah, I think this is like a huge thing, especially that I struggle to remember, of like, don't overload myself with stuff or don't stress myself out enough about not like don't stress myself out too much about not sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
No, it's okay.
About like not always doing something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm going to be running at 50% for the rest of the day or something.
Yeah. And I mean, you're going to be no good or no help to anybody if you're not able to help yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, going back to like the self-trust, like, I mean, you can't be there for others if you can't be there for yourself.
Yeah. So number 2 says doing nothing is doing something. Rest is an active choice. It's nervous system regulation, not laziness. I think that kind of ties in with what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to like cover that anymore. 3, you're not lazy, you're human. Burnout culture lied to you. You don't have to hustle every second to be worthy. I think, again, like we've been saying, like it's important to take a minute and rest sometimes and not stress out. I know I struggle with like, even if I'm sitting there resting, my resting is cleaning because I can't sit down and just like chill until it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah. And I mean, even if if that's something you struggle with, just taking the time to like, you do that and then you can rest. Like, I don't want to say using it as a reward because it shouldn't be a reward. It should just be a normal thing.
Yeah.
But doing that to the point where it becomes a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like doing one assignment, taking a break, but making sure you get back on the train and keep doing your assignment.
It's just important to find balance in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a big thing because it's like time management.
Yeah.
So many people don't know time management anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you master that, I think you could master pretty much anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
Basically, that's like the hardest part about, especially with school and working and everything.
Yeah. I mean, like, how are you going to function personally if you can't function professionally?
Yeah.
I mean, well, vice versa, but like.
Yeah. So the next one is schedule rest like you schedule sets. You respect the set list. Give your downtime the same weight. I think that's literally like what you just said.
Yes.
Basically. And lastly, you deserve peace without productivity. Your value is not based on output. Breathe, exist, recharge. So, I think that's like a really good one.
Yeah, that's like a full circle moment. Like,
yes.
I love when I have those.
Yes.
When it's like light going off in my head.
Yes. You're like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much like wraps up the second episode. So yeah. Do you have any other points about this?
A lot, but not enough to unpack right now. Maybe in the next episode.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me again today.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone who's following the journey. Have a blessed day.